rival game here. Cabot Panthers. What the? Welcome everyone to tonight's matchup. Should be a good one as we have two rivals here. It's dating back to 2004. The series is knotted up. 7 wins Conway, 7 wins Panthers, and that's your matchup tonight. You got the Cabot Panthers versus the Conway Wampus Cats. It should be a very good one. I'm Jaden Dixon.
I'm Nick Ryan.
Should be very action-packed here. Conway is no joke. They're 3-2. The record isn't as good as the Panthers' 4-1 record, but the Wampus Cats are the 6th ranked team in the state of Arkansas. The Panthers 26. So you got a 20 team difference there, as the Wampus Cats are the higher ranked team. So Wampus Cats look like they have the edge in this matchup, though the Panthers do have the better record as they are 4-1 and they're the 3rd ranked team in the 7A Central football standings, and Conway is the 5th ranked team. So looks like it should be a very back and forth matchup here.
Yeah, you said about the records, Jaden, but I'm going to tell you right now, records really don't matter, as Conway last year 0-5 coming into Cabot, coming in with the W, their first win of the year.
That is true. Records, as I like to see it, records don't matter, and it's 0-0. Both teams are looking for a win here, so records shouldn't play a factor for these teams, but as us fans and analytics and broadcasters, we look at the records, and it looks like Cabot has the edge as they are 4-1, but then I also look at the rankings, and the Wampus Cats are the 6th ranked team in Arkansas, as the Panthers are the 26th ranked team. So just looking based off the rankings, I would think that the Wampus Cats have the edge tonight. But like you said, records don't matter, and both teams are going to have to come in here and do certain things to win. The Panthers are going to have to get the running game going. TJ Rogers and Bradley Morales have been on a tear this whole year. Both backs have been impressive. John Weens is impressive like always. He's been doing that since he's been with the Panthers. Tommy Oakes has done a great job at quarterback this year. Great job. And, on some of his passes, he's still getting acclimated to, the passing attack and throwing the football. As last week, his one pass was an interception. But besides that, he's looked pretty solid throwing the ball and controlling the offense there. So, yeah.
Yeah, Tommy Oakes, first year starting as quarterback for Cabot, so he's going to have to get used to being our quarterback and taking the role as the leader of our offense. But let's go back to Bradley Morales and TJ Rogers. Probably one of the best, if not the best, duo in the 7A conference in running backs. Last week they just came off both with 200-plus yards and 2 touchdowns against Fort Smith Southside.
And 2 weeks ago in the matchup against Little Rock Catholic, it looked like Catholic had the best running back in the state, Sammy Johnson. And then that night, not only did T.J. Rogers outperform him, but also Bradley Morales outperformed him as well. So, yeah, like you said, both backs are looking like the best 1-2 punch in the 7A conference. But we've been talking about the Panthers for a little bit now. Let's go on over to the Wampus Cats. Got some stats here. Throwing the ball, they can throw the ball. They got 813 passing yards on the year. So, they're 51 of 98 with a 94.5 QBR rating, which is pretty solid. And then running the ball, they're averaging 5.9 carries per year and 219 yards per game with 15 touchdowns. So that's pretty impressive stats there for their offense. And then, receiving, they got 813 yards, 51 receptions. They're averaging 16 yards a catch. They got 8 receiving touchdowns. So it's definitely going to be a high-powered offense that the Wampus Cats are coming into tonight's matchup that the Panthers defense is going to have to face and, sure some things up. As last week, Tay Gatewood and Jordan Jackson of the Southside Mavericks were very impressive. Tay Gatewood had over 150 yards throwing the ball. He had himself some touchdowns. Jordan Jackson had double-digit receptions that night, and he was all over the place. And the Panthers really left the middle of the field open last night for Gatewood to connect with Jackson over the middle. So the Panthers are worked on it all week in practice. They're going to look to shore that up going into tonight's matchup.
Talking about the Cabot Panthers defense, Zane Harper, 3 interceptions the past 2 weeks. He's looking to bring some more in tonight.
Yeah, add on to that total. And they're led by Justin Neighbors, Jansen Hughbanks. They're without Deontay Roberts tonight. They'll be looking to get him back very shortly, so that'd be an added boost. But Jansen, Hughbanks, and Justin Neighbors have done a great job, taking the leadership role of that defense. And their defense last week they gave up 41 points, but when they needed stops, they got stops. So that's how that defense works. They bend, but when they're needed most, they do not break, and that's why they're 4-1.
Yeah, let's go back to the Cabot Panthers offense. They're also missing Adam Flores, one of their good running backs, and it's also brought the best out of Bradley Morales and T.J. Rogers, taking that leadership role, getting more yards every play, more carries, more touchdowns to lead to more wins for the Cabot Panthers this year.
Yeah, like you said, they're without Adam Flores due to injury, and so you've seen, like you said, T.J. Rogers and Bradley Morales step up, but that also means you've seen Graham Turner step up. Mason Martin has played big. Noah Sorrell has come on at running back. He got his first touchdown 2 weeks ago at Catholic. So you had one player go down in Flores, and then you saw multiple running backs take a spot and step up like Graham Turner and Noah Sorrell. And you see that with the defensive side. Deontay Roberts is out, but then you see the emergence of Jansen Eubanks and what he can do, rushing the passer, stopping the run. Same with Justin Neighbors. So you've seen a lot of guys step up when players go down. And so we'll be getting to game time action here in a bit as we are 3 minutes away from tip-off. Or kickoff, excuse me.
Introduction officiating crew sponsored by the Black Eye Care Center. You can't call them like you see them. You can't see them. Dr. Susan Black and Dr. Sarah Davis will make sure you don't miss a single play. Will receive. Good luck. Football fans, it's time for Friday Night Lights. And Hooten's 7A Game of the Week. These Cat fans on your feet. It's time for Wampus Cat football. Looking at 2017 Wampus Cats, coached by Clint Ishbrown. Tonight's game orders, clock operator Lynn Newhoff, 25-second clock, John 2, service operator Jim Morgan, and spotter Pat Morgan. Set the kickoff for the Panthers. Ben McCullough.
Welcome back from that short break. As you see, the Wampus Cats will receive tonight's opening kickoff, and the Cabot Panthers will be on defense first. The kicker for tonight's matchup has been called. as this is your 7A matchup of the week. The 3-2 Wampus Cats taking on your 4-1 Cabot Panthers. As the kick is not away, as we have a wind issue as the wind blew the ball down, so the kick has been postponed for now. So now we have the opening kickoff here, brought to you by Ben Cole, as this kick is up and away. And that's in the back of the end zone, and so the Wampus Cats will start their first offensive possession at the 20-yard line, and that's where this game will be started.
It's gonna be interesting how these Cabot Panther defense come out. You know, they did have a 21-7 lead against Fort Smith Southside in the first quarter, and then before halftime, they knew tied ball game due to just Fort Smith able to pass the ball down the field, get a couple QB runs, running back runs, and you know. It's just going to be interesting to see if the Cabot can come back in tonight's game.
And so we have a run right up the middle for a short gain, about 3 yards. The quarterback for the Wampus Cats is number 15, Andrew Aroha.
Making the stop for the Panthers, Hayden Matthews.
He's a senior, coming in at 6'2", 200. So he's a stout, big quarterback, mobile in the back, mobile back there in the pocket. So we have a handoff off to the right, getting past the 30 at the 35, where he'll be tackled out for a Wampus Cats first down. So as you see early, 2 run plays, one for short yardage, the next one for a big run here, as we have an injured Panther running off the field. That's number 35, Justin Hall.
Making the stop for the Panthers.
So now we have 1st and 10 at the 37.
1st and 10.
I formation here for the Wampus Cats. Another one right up the middle, and this one is going into the second level here. Breaks the tackle, and he's off to the races at the 20, and that's where he'll be tackled at around the 10-yard line. That's a big run there for number 30 of the Wampus Cats, Michael George, 5'8", 188. He's a handful there, and he's a senior, so he's got a lot of experience, and that's part of the reason on why the Wampus Cats average 5.9 yards as carry, as you've seen 2 runs go for 5 or more yards, and so Wampus Cats are already into the Panthers' territory, looking to score the first touchdown of the ball game.
Yeah, Michael George coming into this game had over 800 yards of the Conway's 1,100 rushing yards. Just a big gain to add more yards to it.
So here he is once again getting to the edge, and he'll be knocked at around the 1-yard line. He'll be short of the goal line, and so 2nd and goal here from the 1-yard line will be the Wampus Cats. Michael George is getting his way with this Panthers defense, as 3 of his 4 runs have been big gains.
Like I said, Jaden, I was telling you how it was going to be interesting how Cabot's defense came back into this game. It's not looking to a good start, as Cabot's allowing major run yards in their run game.
Right now, it looks like we have a stadium interruption here. We have a disturbance here from a fan here. So that will be a stoppage in play.
You never really see that in high school football games.
No, I didn't even see him get on. I didn't even see him step foot on the field. I just seen him come out of nowhere. That kind of kills momentum there for the Wampus Cats, as they were moving down the field, 3 big runs, and then that guy comes onto the field crazy. Kind of kills momentum here for the Wampus Cats. Let's see if they can, punch us in here, as we got a wildcat formation, as the quarterback for the Wampus Cats is split out as a receiver. Michael George looks to be the quarterback here. Michael George going to run it up the middle for the first touchdown of the game. Michael George for a 1-yard touchdown run punts the Wampus Cats up 6 early.
Little wildcat formation right there, Jaden.
Yep, threw the Panthers off, as they've been working with the I formation all the way down the field, give them a little different look. As you saw there, wildcat formation, threw the Panthers off. Easy touchdown run from Michael George.
Yep, Michael George kept that momentum. You said maybe that fan might slow down the momentum of the Wampus Cats. Obviously not, as they score their first touchdown of the night.
Now we await the extra point here for number 3, Jordan Wicks. It's up and good, and so the Wampus Cats jump out to an early 7-0 lead on the Panthers, and we harped early in the pregame about the defense and how they're going to have to come back and, fix things up, because last week they gave up 41 points to a high-powered Mavericks team, and this Wampus Cats offense is just as high-powered as the Mavericks are. And right now, early signs are looking like the Panthers have not changed anything from last week, so they could be in for a long night, this defense is. So now the Panthers will get their first offensive possession after this kickoff here. Return men, TJ Rogers, Bradley Morales, that 1-2 punch we've been talking about all night. They've just been impressive. Don't forget about Decario Rudolph. He's had a punt return this year. That was against J.A. Fair. So he has return abilities as well. But the main 2 guys we want to focus on are TJ Rogers and Bradley Morales. Here's Wicks with the kickoff. This is going to be a short punt. This is going to be fielded by TJ Rogers at about the 10-yard line. He's going to take it right up the middle. He has room, breaks a tackle, and he'll be tackled at around the 35-yard line, around at exactly the 34-yard line, and that's where your Panthers will take over on their first offensive possession.
TJ is a deadly runner when it comes to open field.
Wampus Cats are going to have to look to defend for that, exactly, because TJ Rogers likes to bounce his runs to the outside, and that's where he picks up most of his yards, and he's been doing it all year, as he's well over 500 yards on the year. We've got Tommy Oakes with 3 running backs behind him. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle to TJ Rogers, where he'll be stopped at around the line of scrimmage. So even though it was the first play for the Wampus Cats defense, looks like they're ready for the Panthers running attack. TJ Rogers got nothing on that run.
Making the stop for the Cats. Jordan Davis.
So here's Oakes once again. 3 running backs behind him. It's going to be a keeper to himself. Tommy Oakes will pick up a gain of about 5, and he'll be tackled at the 40-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Panthers.
Yeah, like you said, the Wampus Cats probably just came into this game thinking that Cabot's run game is very strong, and that's what they really depend on their offense. Could potentially turn out if Cabot could, just come out maybe in a couple pass plays to get the defense off and, make miracles on the field happen.
So here's Oakes. Going to be another tight end reverse to John Ween. Seen a lot of those. He's going to break to the outside. He's going to break a tackle, and he's going to get a big gain and a Panthers first down, as they are now into Wampus Cats territory off of that tight end reverse to John Weens. And that looks like that's the go-to play for the Panthers. And we've seen it almost every game from not only John Weens but also from Aiden Shirley, and it picks up big yardage every single time. So now you have 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line for the Panthers. Here's Oakes once again. It's going to be a keeper for himself, it looks like. Nowhere to go. Late pitch to Noah Sorrell. He'll pick up as many yards as he can, and it looks like it's going to be a 3-yard gain for Sorrell, as it looks like Tommy Oakes didn't have anywhere to go. It looked like he was going to keep it himself, but a last-minute pitch to Sorrell picked up 3 yards for the Panthers, as that they turned something into nothing.
Yep, that's just that Wampus Cat defense, just seeking out those run plays and just being there, knowing, and it makes Tommy Oakes just unable to run the ball. And
so here's Oakes once again. It's about 2nd and 7 here. This is going to be a pass. Pump fake. Now he's going to scramble off to his right. He's going to break one tackle. He's going to pick up a first down and be knocked out at around the 35-yard line. So a smart play by Oakes. Pump fakes, gets the defense drawn to the receivers, and he's able to sneak out to the right and pick up a first down.
That's what I was saying, Jade. Maybe some potential passing plays happen in the Cabot offense tonight. Tommy Oakes takes it for himself, distracts the defense, gets a first down.
And so the Panther is going with a more slow approach to marching down the field. As you saw the Wampus Cats quickly get up the field in under 4 plays. The Panthers going with the slow approach to it, taking time off the clock as they have moved the ball down the field well in this first drive. So we're at the 35-yard line. It's going to be a handoff right up to the middle. And that Wampus Cats defense is there to stuff that run at the line of scrimmage.
Brad Morales, the ball carrier. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage by Matt Lloyd.
Right now, 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Going to be that same formation you're going to see. You're going to see Oaks with 3 running backs behind him. You got Sorrell, Graham Turner, and T.J. Rogers in the backfield. It's going to be another tight end to reverse to Aiden Shirley, who's going to try to pick up as many yards as he can, but it's going to be about a 3-yard gain. So now you're looking at a 3rd and 7 for the Panthers. As no knock on Aiden Shirley, he just doesn't offer that same speed that John Weens does. So, they were trying to, catch him off guard again with another tight end reverse. This time they go to an Aiden Shirley who's not as quick as John Weens, and that showed as he was only able to pick up a gain of about 3 yards there as he was trying to break it out to the outside, just not enough speed to break it up and get upfield for more yardage. But that's no knock on Aiden Shirley as he does other things well, blocking, catching. He does a lot of things well to make up for that lack of speed. So now you have Oaks here, 3 running backs. It's going to be a passing play as he fakes 2 handoff, has a man, T.J. Rogers, but he was double coverage there. It's going to be an incomplete pass. So it's going to be 4th and 7 for the Panthers. But this is where we have a dilemma here. Rhett Thurman, their starting punter, had a JV game earlier this week and was injured. He broke his femur in that game. So Panthers are down a punter. So it looks like they will not punt here as they're out. As Rhett Thurman is out, their only punter. So looks like they're going to be going for most 4th downs tonight. Also want to just offer condolences to Rhett Thurman. Hope for a speedy recovery, and he'll be out here next year stronger and better. So here's a reverse. T.J. Rogers going to try to get to the outside, and he will not pick up the first down, as that is an impressive tackle from number 5, Matt Lloyd of the Wampus Cats.
We were just talking about how T.J. loves to get into that outside run, and that's where he makes a lot of his runs and a lot of his yards. But the Wampus Cats was ready. 4th down conversion failed. Wampus Cats ball.
So just like that, the Wampus Cats are looking to make this a 2-possession game here, as they're looking to go down the field like they did their first drive and score a touchdown. Panthers defense going to come out here. Going to have to change some things up, as it was too easy for the Wampus Cats their first drive. Michael George had his way with this defense. So here's another handoff to George. He's going to break a few more tackles, and he's going to pick up a gain of about 6 here, as once again, Michael George, 5 yards or more is what he's doing tonight. Coming into the game, the Wampus Cats team as a whole were averaging 5.9 yards per carry, so they can run the football. So the Panthers are going to have to, look to shore up their front line there and get some stops at the line of scrimmage if they want to have any impact on this game and force the Wampus Cats to throw the ball. There's another handoff to George, and this is another big run, picking up a first down and about to the 50-yard line, 48-yard line is where he was tackled. And the Panthers know they're gonna run the ball, as 187 carries this year. That's more carries than passing attempts for this Wampus Cats offense. So the Panthers know they're gonna run the ball. They're just gonna have to shore things up and get some stops in the trenches with that big defensive line they got, led by Jansen Eubanks. So now we've got a quarterback change. Javani Johnson, 6'4" junior, comes in at quarterback. It's going to be a direct run for him, and Johnson's going to pick up a game about 3. The Panthers were able to read that all the way.
The run game is really strong for the Conway Wampus Cats right now, but maybe one reason is that the defense, struggled on the passing against Fort Smith Southside, so maybe they're playing a little bit safe on those wide receivers, hopefully not allowing a lot of passing yards and a lot of big plays through the quarterback passing.
And it looks like when Conway brings in Javani Johnson, it's going to be a direct quarterback run or quarterback option, some play like that. So the Panthers are going to have to be aware of that. He's going to have another handoff to Michael George, and this time they'll go for a gain of about 1, as the Panthers were ready for that play.
George on the carry. Making a stop for a pass.
So now we got 3rd and 7 for the Wampus Cats. 3rd and 5, excuse me, at the 49-yard line.
Also on the stop,
46-yard line. Excuse me on that. Here we go. We got Herrera, quarterback. Michael George, the running back. Going to be another handoff to George right up the middle, and he's going to be a close call here. Depends on how they spot the ball. Will determine if it's a first down or not. Looks like he's going to be a bit short, and the ref does signal that it is 4th down. So it's going to be a 4th and inches, and looks like the Wampus Cats are going to go for it.
Brings it 4th down and 1, Cats.
And it doesn't take a genius to realize that it's probably going to be a run to Michael George, who's averaged well over 5 yards tonight. And it's a direct snap to him. He's going to pick up the first down and a bit more as he breaks it up to the outside, and he'll be tackled at around the 29-yard line. Initial contact wasn't enough as he was able to break that tackle and pick up a few more yards after contact, and that's what he does. Powerful back at 5'8", 188.
Like I said, Michael George came into this game over 800 yards rushing. He's just keep adding more yards to his stats.
Fisher's timeout.
So we got an injured Panther on the field. Looks like that's Justin Neighbors, one of the leaders on the Panthers defense. So let's hope that it's no big deal and he's able to get back on the field.
It's going to really hurt the Cabot defense if he is major hurt. Hopefully not. But that secondary really depends on Justin Neighbors being the leader for that Cabot secondary.
Got a different running back in, number 2, Brennan Clark's in there. He's got the handoff now. And he's looking for something, but the Panthers defensive line sniffed that out for a gain of about 1. And so now we're going to have a second long here for the Wampus Cats.
Garcia, Jason Eubanks in on the stop.
Here we got Herrera now. Clark in the backfield. No passes yet from the Wampus Cats. Got 3 receivers though, and here is the first pass. Got a man open, middle of the field. That's number 88. He'll be knocked down at around the 5-yard line. That was caught by number 88, Will McKenna. And just like that, harped on it in pregame, middle of the field open once again for this Wampus Cats offense, and they take full advantage of it.
Yep, that was definitely the weakness of the Cabot defense last week. My bad on that. Right through the middle, and if the Cabot can't step up through their secondary, like you said, Justin Neighbors just got injured. Might put a little effect on it, but it could be a long night for this Cabot defense.
So here we got Javani Johnson here. It's going to be another direct quarterback run. He's going to be close to a touchdown, but he'll be brought down at around the 2-yard line. So it looks like every time Johnson is in at quarterback, it's going to be a direct quarterback run. He's going to stay in at quarterback here. He's got 2 receivers split to the bottom of the screen. It's going to be a direct run. Javani Johnson jumps his way into an end zone, and that puts the Wampus Cats up 13-0 early as we are still in the first quarter. So in a second impressive drive for the Wampus Cats, and this defense is looking like it's struggling. They really missed Justin Neighbors when he went out just then on that drive. They're missing the absence of Deontay Roberts. You could just see it in this defense as the Wampus Cats were easily able to march their way down the field like they did in the first drive and score a touchdown. Javani Johnson from 2, his first touchdown of the night. This extra point is going to make it a 14-0 ball game as the Wampus Cats have a commanding lead early.
Extra point is good, you're scoring.
So we'll take 30 seconds and we'll be right back.
Marcus Kohler with Conway's applied to support the Wampus Cats. Stop by your local Conway and use Hope from Conway, and let them show you how easy it is to buy. You can purchase, finance, make payments on your vehicle at the same location. Wampus Conway, drive easy.
So here we are. Kickoff here coming from Jordan Weeks.
Set to kick off, Jordan
Wicks,
Weeks.
excuse me, the Wampus Cats.
Back deep for the Panthers.
Same people returning for the Panthers. TJ Rogers, Bradley Morales, and Rudolph. It's going to be fielded by TJ Rogers. Oh, Bradley Morales, after he calls off TJ, he's looking to break something off here, but he'll be brought down at around the 25-yard line. And that's where the Panthers' second offensive drive will start. And their first drive was impressive themselves. They were able to move the ball down, get into Wampus Cats territory, but after a fourth down decision to go for it, the drive stalled down. They weren't able to pick up a first down. And that's what led to the Wampus Cats' second touchdown of the night. Let's see if the Panthers are able to move down the field and score a touchdown here and cut into this deficit.
Yeah, look at the start of their first drive. It looked like they had this Wampus Cats defense number, but then they stuck with it. They stayed strong, and they were ended up to get a conversion on fourth down.
Here we have Oaks. Once again, it's going to be a quarterback keeper, and that defensive line of the Wampus Cats sniffs that out, and it's going to be a loss of about 1. Tommy Oaks trying to keep it.
They have read that QB option play like a book, Jaden.
The first run from Oaks was a 5-yard run, but since then, earlier he had to pitch it to Noah Sorrell late, and that time looking to do it himself, not able to get any yardage. It's going to be a loss of about 1 yard there from Oaks. So now you're looking at a 2nd 11 from the 25-yard line here. As we're going to have TJ Rogers split out along with Noah Sorrell. It's going to be a tight end reverse to John Weens. A stiff arm here is going to pick up him maybe about 1 yard, maybe get back to the original line of scrimmage, but the Wampus Cats defense was able to sniff out that play once again.
You see all these plays that the Cabot has been known for getting major yards on in any other game this season. You know, the Wampus Cats have finally have found the way of stopping all these plays as Cabot's looking at a 3rd and 9 right now.
Yep, and you saw the Panthers try to throw a new look at the Wampus Cats defense as they're doing it again. TJ Rogers, Noah Sorrell split out as receivers. Last play, it didn't work as Weens was only able to pick up 2 yards. But here we go. You're looking to pass. Oaks scrambling. Trying to look downfield. He's got nothing. He'll be sacked by number 55 of the Wampus Cats, Zach Fredel. Luckily, though, Oaks was able to hold on to the ball and not have a strip fumble there, but instead took a sack, and it's going to end in a punt here for the Panthers, as it looks like they will punt the ball and not go for it, as it is 4th and 9. Excuse me, 4th and 15.
Looks like they will keep Ben McCollum, not just for kicking but punting as well. As you said, Red Thurman, season-ending injury.
So here's McColl with the punt. High arcing punt, going to be fielded at around the 50-yard line. And that is exactly where the Wampus Cats will start this possession at around the 47-yard line, close to that 50-yard line.
Good catch by Will Kennedy. 1st and 10 Cats. Around 47-yard line.
At the 47-yard line with 24 seconds left in the first quarter is where the Wampus Cats will take over for their 3rd offense possession of the night. Clark in at backfield. Haven't seen Michael George the last few plays. It's going to be a passing play for Herrera. Got a man deep down the field. That's number 14. It will be picked off by Austin Swackhammer as number 14. Number 14, Nick Richmond, was the intended receiver. Swackhammer, though, great play on the ball, was able to get under Richmond and pick that ball off. Poorly thrown ball there from Herrera as Swackhammer read it all the way and was able to pick it off. And now the Panthers are right back on the field for offense.
Yeah, their main interceptor for Cabot this year has been Zane Harper, but it's nice to see that someone else in the secondary has finally got one for their stat book, Austin Swackhammer.
So at the 13-yard line is where the Panthers will take over with 16 seconds left in the first quarter. So here's Oaks, got 3 running backs behind him. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle to Bradley Morales. He'll pick up a game of about 5, and that run will likely send us into the second quarter as it's 8 seconds and counting. And just like that, that run will send us into the second quarter. The Wampus Cats up early, 14-0, and we'll be back shortly as we will go down to the field for a sideline report with Dylan Johnston and Trey Tonneson.
See the first quarter, your score, Conway 14, Cabot 0. Thanks to a generous donation by our friends at Conway Regional Health System. Every time you buy a bottle of water or Wampus Cat concession stand, 100% of that purchase stays right here at Conway High School. For over 77 years, Conway Regional has been taking care of us from when we were hurt and building future Wampus Cats and lead our teams to success. Wake up, stay hydrated, and stay healthy. Thank you, Conway Regional.
Sorry about that. We had technical difficulties, so we're not able to give you a sideline report. But here we are back, resuming of the start of the second half, and it will start with a false start on John Weens. So Panthers offense moving back 5 yards. So it's going to likely be 2nd and 10 for the Panthers.
That was another thing the Cabot Panthers struggled with last week. Penalties killed them. They had very great drives, up the field, and then, penalties not even ruin the momentum, but ruin their field position.
Yeah, penalties can be a killer on any drive. It can just cause, an offense to stall out. Could be moving down the field, and then you're hit with a big holding call, something like that, and it could really, put a hinder into an offensive drive. And so, off of this handoff here after the penalty, going to be a gain of about 1. Getting back to maybe line of scrimmage. It's going to be a gain of nothing, as it is now 3rd and 10 for the Wampus, or for the Panthers, as the Wampus Cats defense has done a great job so far, not allowing the Panthers, get the running game going. As past 2 weeks, Catholic and then against the Mavericks, Bradley Morales has started the game off with a touchdown run. So far, no big run from any running back for the Panthers. As it's going to be another very short game for the Panthers, and they're looking at around a 4th and 7 here, and it looks like they'll send on the punting unit once again. And so off of a key turnover from the Panthers, Swackhammer's interception is going to lead to another punt for the Panthers here, as this Wampus Cats defense has not been phased at all, and they are putting in work early in this game.
Yeah, like you said, Bradley Morales, their first drive of last week's game, scored a touchdown. Their defense got to stop, and then on the first play of their second drive, touchdown by T.J. Rogers. Nothing looks being right on this Cabot offense tonight.
So this is going to be McCall's second punt. It's going to be another high arcing punt. It's going to get a friendly bounce here. It's going to be fielded at around the 45-yard line, and that's where he'll be tackled, as that was great special team coverage there from the Panthers special teams unit. As the return man, number 8, Cole Hoover, is shaken up. So a very big hit. So that is where the Wampus Cats will start their next offensive drive.
First and 10 Wampus Cats at the 46-yard line.
Andrew Correa in at quarterback. Haven't seen Michael George in a while, as it's still Clark in that backfield for the Wampus Cats. So he's going to get this handoff. He's going to take it right up the middle, and that defensive line is going to stuff that run play. Going to get back to around the original line of scrimmage here. So great run defense there from the defensive line of the Panthers.
Yeah, that just shows how big George is to a part of this Conway offense. You know, George has not been out there these past 2 drives, and you know, last possession ended up as an interception on the first play for the Cabot Conway Wampus Cats offense.
Yeah, Wampus Cats are missing George production here, as it's Clark once again for another short gain. This game's going to go for about a 4-yard run here. As the defense, when George is not on the field, this defensive line looks dominant. And it doesn't look like Michael George is injured. Don't see him on the medical table. See him standing amongst his teammates. So I wonder if he's just getting a long breather here, as it's much needed. He's averaged well over 6 yards per carry tonight. So we got Correa, quarterback here. Going to be another handoff to Clark, and this Panthers defensive line looks dominant this drive. That is another short gain for this Wampus Cats. It's going to bring up 4th down. It looks like Coach Clint Ashcraft will keep his offense out on the field.
Making a stop for the Panthers, Cody Skinner, Romero Garcia.
These past couple of drives with George on the sideline, you know, the Wampus Cats offense has struggled, but, you know, Cabot's offense hasn't really done any better, as they haven't been able to get the ball downfield and score on these possessions to where their defense gets stops.
After a brief meeting with this team, Ashcraft decided to send his punting unit on. This is a high arcing punt. It's going to be fair catch. Oh, muffed by T.J. Rogers, and the Wampus Cats, off of a mistake from T.J. Rogers, will walk into the end zone. As we await decision on the refs. Looked like it was a muff punt by T.J., recovered by the Wampus Cats into the end zone.
Recovering the muff punt.
But as the refs are meeting up to decide what will be the final call, we'll bring it to you. But from my eyes, it looked like it should have been a touchdown. That ball was clearly recovered by the Wampus Cats and walked in untouched into the end zone. The referees are meeting.
You see the Cabot offense and the Wampus Cats defense coming out on the field.
And the final call is that T.J. Rogers did not touch that punt, which would cause for the Wampus Cats, when they caught it, to down the ball at around the 7-yard line, and that's where the Panthers offense will start their possession. Like you said, the Wampus Cats defense comes running onto the field. So looking to continue to stop this Panthers offense. That looks like they've been able to build up no momentum so far in this game. T.J. Rogers, Bradley Morales have not been effective. Tommy Oakes have not been effective. And besides that, big run from John Williams, the tight ends of the Panthers have not been effective either. So it looks like this Wampus Cats team has full momentum of this game, and that's why they're up 14-0 with 8:30 left in the second quarter. So here we have Oakes. Going to be another handoff right up the middle and another short gain for the Panthers. It's going to be a gain of about 2 yards. This defensive line of the Wampus Cats have done a great job getting, just pushing the offensive line of the Panthers back, not allowing the Panthers offensive line to create any big holes for the running backs to run through. That just shows great strength of that whole defensive line of the Wampus Cats, that they've controlled the trenches tonight. So here's Oakes Going to look for a pass. Guys, T.J. Rogers open. He's going to throw it his way, and this is going to be well over his head, out of bounds. And it's going to be another 3rd and long for the Panthers. If they've not been able to get anything going on the ground or through the air, as this Wampus Cats defense has shut down pretty much everything this Panthers offense wants to run.
You know, you're the Cabot offense. You get a lucky call, not a muff putt by TJ. If not, Conway scores, puts them up 21-0 possibly. Not even in the second half of this second quarter. Definitely would be in a horrible spot for Cabot. But yet again, the Cabot offense cannot do anything on any possession they have with the ball.
So here's Oaks. It's going to be another handoff. And this is going to be another short gain for the Panthers. And it looks like the Panthers are going to be back on the field punting, as the punting team does come out to the field. As I'm thinking, you know, the Panthers need to play conservative, just send their defense out there, hope they can get some stops, and hopefully go into halftime only down 14-0, regroup, and come out in the second half looking to, you know, just get momentum back, drive down the field, and get some points. Because right now it looks like their offense is struggling. They need something changed on that offense if they want to get down the field at least into Wampus Cats territory, as they've been stuck in their territory all night. This has been McCall's 3rd punt of the night. Kick's going to be fielded and fair caught at the 46-yard line. And that's where the Wampus Cats will start their next offensive possession at, as we are 7 minutes away from halftime.
Conway's already on the opposite side of the field. Very great starting point for the Wampus Cats. You know, their defense helps with that, you know, not letting Cabot get any yards on that drive. And, you know, forcing a punt deep on the opposite side of the field, not getting to the opposite side. And that may be affected without Rhett Thurman. You know, he is the actual punter for Cabot, not allowing those long punts to be on the opposite side of the field for Conway.
We're going to have another quick pass here to number 88, McKenna, and he'll be close to a first down. It's going to be a gain of about 9 yards there, as Correa and McKenna connect on their second completion of the night. As McKinnon was the one who caught the early pass from Correa early in the game that put them in good position to score their second touchdown of the night. So it looks like he's the go-to receiver in this offense. McKinnon is a junior, 6'10", 190. Great size for a receiver. It's going to be another run here. Michael George is finally checked into the game. And another big run from George, and he'll stumble down at around the 20-yard line. Looks like the 17-yard line is where he was originally down. So Michael George comes in after a long breather, breaks off another 10-plus yard run to his resume on the night. He's cooked up this Panthers defense all night.
First and 10, Wampus Cats.
So here's George. He's in the backfield again. He's going to get this handoff. He's going to break it up right up the middle. This not going for as big as of a gain. It's going to be about a 5-yard gain for George. He's not marked down at the 19-yard line.
Making the initial hit, Lucas Newton.
Yeah, you see George's production is huge for this Wampus Cats. You know, he just came back in the game. You know, now they're in the red zone basically, 20-yard line. George is a phenomenal player.
There's George, another handoff, another big run. He's going to pick up the first down, much more, and he'll rumble his way into the end zone. And just like that, the Wampus Cats offer three big runs from Michael George, is back up 20-0, as George has been the vocal point of this Wampus Cats offense, and he's done his share of the work as he's now scored his second touchdown of the night.
Yeah, that's just poor tackling by the Cabot Panthers. You know, you have George at the 6-7 yard line, and you just can't get an extra hand on him. And you know, he just, with his strength, uses it to get a touchdown.
So with this extra point, the Wampus Cats now lead 21-0 off of a big run from Michael George, and he's been impressive all night, showing you that he might be the best running back in the 7A. We'll be back in 30 seconds for this kickoff.
The Foundation, the Conway Public School Foundation, is encouraging you to keep the Wampus Cats spirit alive be a part of the newest tradition, the Wampus Cat Courtyard. Your purchase of a book to be placed in the courtyard gives a lasting legacy and is also benefits the Conway Public Schools Foundation and its grant program for teachers. Your donation is tax deductible. Learn more at Conway Public Schools Foundation website, cpsfoundation.com. Set to kick off for Wampus Cats, Jordan Weeks. Back deep for the Panthers, TJ Rogers.
Here we are. Wicks with this kickoff. This is going to be fielded by Bradley Morales. Nope, goes right over his head. He will field it after that bounce. And he's going to be tackled at the 5-yard line. Poor choice there by Morales to not even attempt to catch it. Lets it go right over his head, bounces. They'll try to pick it up and pick up as many yards as he can. But the Wampus Cat special teams unit quickly down the field tackles him at the 6-yard line.
Halfway point of the second quarter. This is all the Wampus Cats tonight. Offense and defense. Cabot cannot get the ball onto the opposite side of the field. They did once, but they were able to fail on a fourth down conversion.
So here's Oaks going to draw the defense offside here. The Panthers will pick up free 5 yards, and they'll start at the 11-yard line, it looks like. And that's one way for the Panthers to get back in this game. If penalties can start going their way and be called on the Wampus Cats just like then, offside penalty is going to set the Panthers up at a 1st and 5 at the 11-yard line. See if the Panthers offense can get anything stirring up on this drive here. He's got Oaks with 3 running backs behind him. Going to be a handoff up to TJ Rogers, and he'll pick up another short gain. He will not even pick up the first down here as the Panthers running attack has not been able to stir up anything tonight. As that Wampus Cats defensive line has done a great job dominating the trenches and causing a push with that offensive line, causing very little running room for the running backs of the Panthers.
Second down 3 at 14-yard line.
Here's Oaks. Going to look to keep it himself, trying to bounce to the outside. It's going to be a late pitch again to Noah Sorrell. He'll pick up the first down and a bit more as he'll be tackled out at around the 15-yard line, close to it. 14-yard line is where they officially mark him out at. So just like that, the Panthers get a first down. See if they can pick up momentum here and get down the field quickly, as they're working with 5 minutes left on the clock before the first half is over.
1st and 10 Panthers on 24-yard line.
Cabot really needs something right here, and that run by Sorrell could definitely bring some momentum to this Cabot offense.
They're looking to cut into this deficit. Going into halftime, a good way here is to get the running game going, as it looks like they've started here. Got a big run from Sorrell just a play ago. Now it's Graham Turner picking up a 7-yard gain of his own. And he was impressive last week against the Mavericks, picking up big gains and first downs for him last week. So let's see if he can, jumpstart this offense with big runs like he's had all year.
Yeah, Graham is a sophomore, and with the injury of Adam Flores, it definitely has been able to get him some carries on these Friday night lights.
Yep, and so a late pitch there from Tommy Oaks to TJ Rogers does not go in favor of the Panthers, as it was almost a near fumble there for TJ Rogers, but they're going to mark him down. And so that's going to be no gain for the Panthers here, as it once again was another late pitch there to TJ Rogers, and he almost about lost it. But he would be marked down at the 30-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 4 for the Panthers. Got Graham Turner coming back in. He's the power back of that running back rotation. So let's see if they feed him the ball here and pick up 4 yards to pick up that first down. As right now, you're not looking to score right now. You're looking to just keep this drive alive and pick up a first down. And it looks like they're going to be short, as this Wampus Cats defensive line has won the battle of the trenches so far tonight, allowing the Panthers offense to not get going at all. Looks like Coach Mike Malham of the Panthers will keep his offense out there as it's 4th and 1. I've said Graham Turner's the power back. Let's see if they give it to him here. As that's the one. It's Bradley Morales looking to pick up the first down, and the Wampus Cats stop him in his tracks, and they'll start their drive at the 33-yard line as the Wampus Cats defensive line once again doing a great job not allowing this Panthers offense to get any momentum in the running game.
Something's not right tonight with this Cabot Panthers offense and defense, Jaden.
It's not. The defense has not been able to stop Michael George as he's averaged over 6 yards a carry. You know, Herrera has only thrown 2 passes, but he's completed both of them to his big receiver, McKinnon. So the defense has not been on point this game, and the offense has looked sluggish to start this game so far. They've not been able to get any momentum going at all. So here we have Herrera handing off to Clark. He's going to pick up a nice gain of his own. It's going to be a gain of about 5 yards for Clark and the Wampus Cats offense. As once again, it's another offensive possession starting in Panther territory for the Wampus Cats, where they've lived all night pretty much, is in that Panther territory. They've scored 3 touchdowns already. They're looking to score another touchdown going into halftime, as there's 3 minutes left in this first half.
Cabot's defense has been the most strongest when George has been on the sideline. Right now he is on the sideline, but they did allow a 3-yard gain right there. But let's see if they can get another stop.
Here we go. Another pass from Herrera. He's going to pull it down, keep it himself. He's going to look to pick up a first down. He's going to be about a yard short of that first down. So it's going to be 3rd and short for the Wampus Cats. They're looking to keep this drive alive. They're looking to add on to their already 21-point lead as they're going to send Javani Johnson out to play quarterback here. And every play he's been in at quarterback, it's been a direct run to him. So let's see if the Panthers can realize that and get a stop here. He's in a no-back set here. Got 3 receivers split out, 2 at the top of the screen. And it's a direct run, and the Panthers read it like a book, and that's going to be a stop. It's going to be a 4th down play here for the Wampus Cats, and it leaves Coach Clint Ashcraft with a decision here if he wants to go for it, if he wants to kick a field goal. It looks like they're going to go for it as they send Andrew Herrera and Clark back onto the field.
You're right, Jay. When Johnson's on the field, it's always a misdirection run to him. The defense of the Panthers have finally been able to realize that and stuff him to make a 4th down.
So here's Herrera with 2 receivers at the top of the screen. It's going to be a pass. He's got Clark out in a real route, and it will be overthrown, and the Panthers luck out. Good defense right there from the Panthers on that drive, and they'll keep the Wampus Cats at 21 as it now gives them a chance to go out on the field and score before the first half is over, as it is 1:25 remaining on the clock.
Like we have been saying, the Panther defense has been the strongest whenever Michael George has been on the sideline. At that drive, George was not on the field once. Cabot gets a 4th down conversion.
So here we have Tommy Oakes. 3 running backs behind him. Rogers, Morales, and Sorrell. It needs to be a run to Morales, and he'll pick up no gain as it looks like he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage here. And it's going to be another 2nd and long for the Panthers, pretty much where they've lived all night. It's been 2nd and long, 3rd and long, where they've lived all night, as this Wampus Cats defense is no joke, as they're showing you why they're the 6th ranked team in the state of Arkansas. So here is Tommy Oakes, a pitch to T.J. Rogers. Here we go. T.J. Rogers picks up a first down, and he's looking to pick up a lot more. Makes a cutback, and he'll be brought down close to the 30-yard line. And just like that, after a big run from T.J. Rogers, the Panthers are finally in Wampus Cats territory.
That's the real T.J. we like to be seeing.
Let's see if the Panthers can build off of this, as they're looking to get up any points on the scoreboard and cut into this deficit, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. They got to get some sort of points on here to build momentum going into halftime, and where they'll receive the opening kickoff of the second half. So let's see if they can score here and score coming out of halftime. Give life back to him. This is going to be a Tommy Oakes pitch, and it will be intercepted And the Wampus Cats are looking to add on to the lead as number 18, Jackson Freeman, picks off Tommy Oaks' pitch and walks it into the end zone untouched, giving the Wampus Cats a 27-0 lead.
That definitely hurts the Cabot Panthers going into halftime. You know, they are looking to put up some points on the board and go into halftime, and then out of nowhere, the Wampus Cats defense again makes a great play on the defensive side, and it ends up as a interception touchdown.
And just like that, when it looked like the Panthers offense had life after the big run from TJ Rogers, putting them in Wampus Cats territory, a poor decision by Tommy Oaks there to pitch, to go once again, go with the late pitch to Noah Sorrell. Doesn't even touch the hand of Sorrell as it's picked off by number 18, Jackson Freeman, giving the Wampus Cats 27-0 lead, and after that extra point, 28-0 lead. And it looks like the Wampus Cats will go into halftime up 28-0 as there's only 26 seconds left on the clock before halftime.
Yeah, if I'm Cabot and as everything has been going, I definitely would not do another offensive play. I would need it. Take it into halftime, go talk as a team, and see what they can do second half.
With 26 seconds left, awaiting this kickoff, Wampus Cats have a commanding 28-0 lead. And like you said, the Panthers' best decision might be to field this kick, bring the offense on, knee it, and then go into halftime down 28 and look to regroup here. This is going to be a touchback, and so the Panthers, if they want to run any plays, will start at the 20-yard line.
Rick's kicking to the end zone. The first and 10 Panthers up on 20-yard line.
So as this Panthers offense comes onto the field, they do have 3 timeouts to work with if they want to try to move down the field and get into at least field goal range, but with 26 seconds, the clock is not in their favor.
Yeah, definitely after what just happened for the Cabot offense, you know, you're looking to put points on the board with less than a minute left, and you just give an extra 7 points to the Wampus Cats.
And they will not knee it, and they will run it right over the middle. It's going to be a short gain for the Panthers. And that run might send the Panthers into halftime here. They might have time for one more play before halftime.
Making stop for the Cats, Eric Grant. Garrett Fusilier. Second down, 7.
Here's Oaks. Another handoff right up the middle. And that's going to be another short gain for the Panthers. And that run will send this game into halftime. The Wampus Cats have a commanding 28-0 lead. And we'll send it now onto the field for reporters Trey Tonneson and Dylan Johnson with the sideline update.
28, Cabot 0.
Sorry for that technical difficulties. We'll have technical difficulties. We have technical difficulties there. Sorry about that. We'll get back before the start of the third quarter with a sideline update from Trey Thompson and Dylan Johnson. But for now, the Wampus Cats have a commanding 28-0 lead, and that's where we stand at halftime. Be sure to join us back for the start of the second half in 19 minutes.
Nice round of applause for the Conway High cheerleaders. Now please welcome to the field the 2017 Conway High dance team.
just. Where's Gullahorn at? Ask him where he's at. Guarantee you he's repping blue. Dude, look at this video I got of Massey. Oh no. Where is he walking to? Look at Massey. Look at Massey. Where's he walking to? Where's he walking to?
What is he doing? Is he over there now?
Yeah, I don't know where he was walking somewhere.
What? Hold up. We got a spot. Is that him?
Where?
Like way on the, like.
Yeah,
right
I
up-
see him.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm. Oh, is he walking towards Trey?
Yeah.
He's going towards
Trey's
I was about
never
to say.
beaten him.
I was about to say what.
I thought he was doing laps.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
Ate too much pizza.
Bro, I ate like a damn pig. I'm stuffed. Stick a fork in me.
We drink that water already?
Yeah, bro.
I'm just trying to find out
I had to piss like a sailor.
what water am I drinking.
Huh?
What brand is this? This ain't Conway Regional Health System.
It is, man.
No, this has got to be like Aquafina or Dasani or something.
Aquafina.
They went to Walmart, got this, scraped down, ripped it off, and put their own crap on here.
What are you trying to say? It's good?
It's got a weird taste to it,
It's
man.
got a weird
My throat starts hurting. I'm
Oh.
suing the broom. I have to go outside. Enjoy the Bible. How was that?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
That's hilarious. We're gonna see Gullahorn in the stands. Yeah.
Hold on, I have to change the audio. It's gonna pop up on stream. Do you want me to check it? Because it's gonna play through the stream. Okay, hold on. Let me gotta pull something up. Yeah. Okay. Bye. AMS board certified emergency medicine physicians. Baptist Health provides rapid care when you need it most. Right here in Conway. Choose a physician who chooses Baptist Health. Call 1-888-BAPTIST or BaptistHealth.com. Tackle your vision problems. See Dr. Susan DeBlack or Dr. Sarah Davis to make sure you can see every frame. Find DeBlack Eye Care Center for all your vision care needs. Andy's Frozen Custard is a proud supporter of the Conway Wampus Cats. The Wampus Cats win stand by Andy's at 2375 Dave Ward Drive after tonight's game for a special offer. Scores around 7A play tonight. Bryant 21. Little Rock Central 6. Rogers Heritage 14, Van Buren 7 at halftime. Bentonville West 24, Springdale 22. Second quarter. Springdale Harbor, Bentonville tied at 14, halftime. Bentonville leading Rogers 21-7 in the second quarter. North leading Fort Smith Southside 28-0 second quarter. Little Rock Catholic 24, Fort Smith Northside 14 at halftime. The annual Kieran County Power Pit game will be held October 18th at 6:30 here at John McConnell Stadium. Senior girls will play junior and sophomore. Sponsored by Queen Automotive and Centennial Bank. Proceeds will benefit Special Olympics and Best Players. Begin the third quarter. Set the kickoff for the Wampus Cats, Jordan Wicks. Back 8 for Cabot. TJ Rogers.
Welcome back to the start of this second half of this intense matchup that we thought was going to be displayed here tonight, but it's been all Wampus Cats in the first half. They have a dominant, commanding 28-0 lead. Let's see if the Panthers can, get back on track, as they will start off with the ball in the second half. As this will be Tommy Oakes fielding it in the back here. He's going to spin, break one tackle, break another tackle, and he's got open field ahead of him, and it looks like Tommy Oakes will walk untouched into the end zone. And just like that, the Panthers getting on the board early with Tommy Oakes, a 99-yard kickoff return from Mr. Oakes, putting the Panthers on the board finally, and that is a grown man return right there from Tommy Oakes.
That is the best possible thing that could happen for this Cabot Panthers. This gives great momentum for the Panthers, and now hopefully the defense can come up and bring in more momentum.
I'm just saying, Tommy Oakes, he looked a bit beast mode right there as he broke off, as he broke out of about three sure tackles right there. It's a spin move that broke one tackle, and then a shoulder to break another one, and he had nothing but open space in front of him, and he walked untouched into the end zone for a 99-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, this year we haven't really seen Tommy Oakes on the special teams. I did see him there pretty soon, and I was wondering what was happening. And, good thing that Tommy Oakes was there. He was able to basically run all through the field for a touchdown. You know who that reminds me of, Jane? Our last quarterback for Cabot, Gerard Barnes.
I was thinking the same thing. Last year you saw Gerard go on to the special teams unit for a handful of kickoff attempts, and he returned a few last year. And Tommy Oakes with that number 2, reminiscent of Gerard Barnes, he was able to take back his first kickoff return of this year for a touchdown. So that's an impressive start for the Panthers. That's the start they needed to spark some life into this Panthers team as a whole, from the offense, the defense. They need some momentum. The defense now is going to have to come out and get a stop, as Michael George well over 100 yards already, as he is at 151 yards on the night, averaging 6+ yards per carry and 2 touchdowns on the night. So this Panthers defense is going to have to come out and win the battle in the trenches with their defensive line and make sure Michael George does not get going again, because if he does, it could be a long second half for the Panthers. As we have Ben Cole here on the kick. It's going to be fielded at around the 2-yard line. The Wampus Cats looking to return a kick of their own, but instead they'll be tackled at around the 24-yard line, and that's where the Wampus Cats high-powered offense will get their next start, their next offense of possession.
Okay, the return there is kicked at 24-yard line.
Wampus Cats are looking to, move up back in the rankings in the Central 7A Central football standings, as they are only 5th, and if they were to win and tie with the Panthers at a 4-2 record, Conway looking like they will move up in the standings. Michael George looking to get started like where he was in the first half, breaks off a nice 5-yard run there. So the Wampus Cats looking like they're going to go straight to George and get him rolling in the second half. And looking to run the ball. I would assume that the Wampus Cats would run the majority of the rest of the game to run this clock off and, just escape and, get this win, as it looked like they were the underdogs with this 3-2 record, and the Panthers playing so well at 4-1, as they're going to pick up another first down here. And so just like that, the Wampus Cats taking off where they left off in that first half, picking up another first down, and they're moving down the field already.
Something I just saw on that play, George Michaels was on the field, but he did not get the ball, but he did sure have a great block to lead another runner to a first down. It just shows that if he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he's able to make plays for other players.
They're going with a new look here. They're going to have 2 running backs, Clark and George, beside Correa, and it's going to be Clark receiving this handoff, and he's going to get a 5-yard run there. And so coming into the second half, starting off the second half, the Wampus Cats showing a new formation to that Panthers defense, looking to catch them off guard here, as we just saw 2 running backs to the side of Herrera with 2 receivers, looking to give a new look to the Panthers defense, keeping them on edge, so they're not getting too one-dimensional with the same plays they're running. And so here's Michael George now with the handoff, and here's another big run from George, and it's another first down for the Wampus Cats.
Michael George on the carry. Carries it down the Panther 47-yard line.
And we weren't able to get a sideline report starting in the second half, but we did receive word from Dylan Johnson and Trey Thompson that the Panthers sideline looked a bit sluggish, but they were still talking each other up and giving each other motivation on the sideline, and they're not backing down from what could be a historic comeback here. As we have Clark looking to break it to the outside, and that's going to be a grown man tackle by Justin Neighbors as he is back on the field, as he left early in the game with an injury, but he's back on the field and he's making big plays once again. There's a strong tackle by Justin Neighbors.
There's also a flag on the play, Jaden.
Clark did throw a stiff arm to the face, so that might be a legal hands to the face on Clark. Just awaiting the call from the refs.
Personal foul face mask against the Panthers.
What looked like a face mask penalty, legal hands to the face from Clark, actually was a face mask, unnecessary roughness face mask on Justin Neighbors, who just made that tackle. It's going to give 15 yards to the Wampus Cats, as they are already in Panthers territory where they've been all night. Sticking with that same formation, 2 running backs to the side of Herrera. He's going to hand it off to Clark. He's going to pick up another 6-yard gain there. It's going to be tackled by number 35, Justin Holland, who's back in this game as well, as he left earlier with an injury as well.
Making a stop for the Panthers, Justin Holland.
This Cabot's defense has only been able to stop the run for Cabot when Michaels has been on the sideline. That just shows this man is a dangerous player on the field when he's out there. If he doesn't have the ball, he's making plays for other players to get the ball to the opposite side of the field and score more touchdowns.
So here's Michael George with a run of his own. He'll pick up another first down for the Wampus Cats, as the Panthers look like in the start of the second half they have no answer once again from Michael George, as he's once again running hard, picking up first down, big runs like he's been doing all night, and it shows as he's over 150 yards on the night. He's got 2 touchdowns. So he's well on his way to 200-plus rushing yards tonight. And we haven't seen that from opposing running back for the Panthers. Usually it's the quarterback who's making plays with his arm, but this game it's been Michael George and his legs making the plays, because he's on his way to over 200 yards. And Brendan Clark has done well as well, as he's well over 50 yards himself. And so there's a run from him. He's picking up some short yardage. He's more of the I would say the bruiser back. You bring him in to get you 3-4 yards, and George can get you those 3 or 4 yards, but he's more known for his breakaway speed, as you've seen it all night. He's averaged over 6 yards per carry, over 150 yards. So it just shows you the difference between the 2 backs that the Wampus Cats have. And here's Clark once again. So he's going to pick up another bruising 2 yards there. So he's going to be short of the first down.
Making a stop for the Panthers, Cody Skinner.
It's going to be about 3rd and 4 for the Wampus Cats. 3rd and 3 at the 15-yard line. The official marking.
If Cabot allows another touchdown right here, that kickoff return by Tommy Oaks was basically pointless. I mean, you're still down 28. If they do score, it's 35-7. So they're still at the same spot they were at the start.
And here's Clark again. It looks like he might have enough for a first down. It depends on the spot.
And on the stop, Dalton Coleman. Justin Holland.
It's going to be a 4th down. And so now Coach Clint Ashcraft has a decision here. Does he send on the field goal team, or does he keep his offense out there? As it is 4th and short, it's 4th and 1 at the 12-yard line. So this might be a situation where you see Brendan Clark get a handoff up the middle, or Michael George even. But it's another Wildcat formation here. You got George at the quarterback position. It's going to be a direct snap, a bit low. No problem from George, as he's going to corral it and pick up a first down. Just shows you great, patience and awareness from George, as he didn't panic. He was able to pick up the low snap, and just pick up 2 yards for a first down.
Making a stop
now-
for the Panthers, Logan Bay.
So now at the 10-yard line, you got the Wampus Cats knocking on the door, looking to put themselves up big once again, add on to their lead. If they can score, make it a 4-possession game, as right now it's a 3-possession game. We're up 28-7. Here's George with the handoff, looking to break it to the outside, breaks 1 tackle. He'll pick up a gain of about 5 here. So it's going to be a Wampus Cats 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line. We're going to keep George out in the field. Got Clark on the sideline.
That 4th and 1 play a second ago really showed how good the Conway offensive line is. You know, it was a low snap by the center, you know, George. So it does create a little stoppage in the play, but you know, the offensive line keeps those blocks and has George for a first down.
And they create a big hole here for Michael George to run through, getting his 3rd touchdown on the night as the Wampus Cats go back up 4 possessions, as it is now 34-7, awaiting the extra point.
Talked about how recent games, you know, Bradley Morales and TJ Rogers, one of the best duos in the 7A. I mean, George Michaels is doing it by himself tonight.
So this extra point here is up. It's good. And so the Wampus Cats, once again, sticking with their commanding lead, just adds to it now, as it is 35-7. They're up 4 possessions, as we'll be back in 30 seconds for the kickoff.
Kickoff for the Wampus Cats, Jordan Wicks.
Three-yard kickoff now. Jordan Wicks kicking off here. See if Tommy Oaks can return another one. This one going straight to him, just over his head, as it'd be a touchback. The Panthers will start at the 20-yard line.
Wicks kickoff into the end zone. It's 1st and 10, Panthers.
Wampus Cats defense has been good all night. The 7 points from the Panthers coming off of that special teams play from Tommy Oaks in the kickoff. So this defense has allowed no points, no touchdown, no field goals. And besides that big run from TJ Rogers, they really have, you know, kept the big plays from the Panthers to a minimum, as you've rarely seen any big runs from the Panthers from Morales or TJ like we've usually seen from weeks past. So that's a great job that the Wampus Cats are doing. There's going to be another run up the middle for the Panthers. It's going to be a short gain of maybe 1 to 2 yards here. That defensive line is just stout. Got some big boys on that defensive line. They're playing tonight.
You know, they did only allow that one run by TJ Rogers, but they were able to stay under control. And, you know, it did turn into another 7 points for their defense after the interception.
Here's Tommy Oaks. It's going to be a pitch, looking to pick up some yards. Pretty decent gain there from TJ. It's going to be 3rd and short here. It's going to be a rare occurrence for the Panthers here, 3rd and short, as it's been 2nd and long, 3rd and long for the Panthers all night. So 3rd and 3 now at the 27-yard line. See if the Panthers can pick up this first down and keep this drive alive. They've got to get some points on the board at this point, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. Just any points will help. Hopefully adding momentum to the Panthers, as they're going to go with the reverse here to TJ Rogers, and the defense of the Wampus Cats reads that. It's going to be no gain there for the Panthers, and it's going to be 4th 4th down for the Panthers, and it looks like they're sending out their punting unit.
And to make the stop, Grant Fusilier. Zach Fleeter.
They've been trying, to get TJ to the outside where he works so well. That just the Wampus Cats are able to beat TJ to that spot and stop him. TJ's had one big run tonight. Besides that, the Wampus Cats have, honed in on him, Bradley Morales, and they've allowed them not to get anything going tonight. And it's worked in the Wampus Cats' favor. It's going to be a high arcing punt. This will be fielded at around the 50-yard line. So at midfield is where the Wampus Cats will take over.
This is about the 3rd or 4th time this game that the Wampus Cats have almost started or have started on the opposite side of the field. It's just created great field possession for the Wampus Cats offense. It's definitely led to a few of their touchdowns tonight.
So here's that 2-back set. Another handoff to Clark, trying to get to the outside. But that's another strong tackle there from Justin Holland as he's returned on the field from injury. 2 big tackles since he's returned.
Justin Holland.
Here we have Araya and George. Lock formation here. 3 receivers split out, top of the screen here. Arraya's going to drop back here. He's got a man deep, wide open, and he connects. And just like that, off of one big pass play, Wampus Cats already at the 5-yard line, as that was a beautifully thrown ball and a beautiful catch there by number 16, Joseph Thomas. Once again, the middle of the field wide open for the Wampus Cats to use, and just like that, Joseph Thomas able to get behind the defense, wide open, beautifully delivered ball there from Herrera, and now the Wampus Cats knocking on the door, looking to score once again, as Herrera comes off the field and Giovanni Johnson back in at quarterback. So, if anything, expect a direct run here. Here's Johnson, direct run here, looking to get into the end zone, and he awaiting the call from the officials, and just like that, Giovanni Johnson has got his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Wampus Cats continue to add on to their already demanding lead, as it is now 41-7. Got a 5-possession game here for the Panthers, as they are in a big, big hole right now, as awaiting this kickoff or this extra point attempt here. It'll be 42-7 here.
And like I said, Cabot, biggest weakness last week was the secondary. Caused big passing plays by Fort Smith. It looked like they had it going with the interception by Austin Swackhammer a little bit ago. But other than that, Herrera has been perfect ever since then. And, it just led to another touchdown for the Wampus Cats.
And just like that, off of that extra point attempt, the Wampus Cats go up 42-7. And it's been a long night for the Panthers. They've not been able to get anything on offense. Their defense has continued to give up big play after big play. As Michael George over 160 yards now, averaging over 7 yards per carry. Clark over 4 yards per carry. You're just not gonna. You can't win a football game or expect to win a football game if you're allowing those numbers. Once again, back-to-back weeks, they have allowed 40 points or more, and really ever since that Pine Bluff game where they held the Zebras to 12 points, El Dorado had over 28 points. You play J.A. Fair, who is clearly the weaker opponent, should not be playing in the 7A conference as it is. They had the defense was strong there, but then since then, Catholic was able to score, put points on the board. They were over 20 points. Wampus Cats now over 40 at 42. Last week, Mavericks put up 41. You can't win games if your defense is going to come out and allow that. And they're just going to have to get back to the basics and practice, work on some things, and they're in good position. If they go in to lose this game, they'll still be 4-2. They'll still be above 500, and they're going to be around the 6th, 7th ranking in the rankings in the 7A Central standing. So they're not in a bad spot. They're just going to have to get back to the basics and just work on some things and shore up some things. You know, adding Deontay Roberts back to the lineup, you know, getting your players healthy should help, and it should get this defense back on track. But for now, it's just been a terrible outing for the defense for back-to-back weeks that they've allowed 40 or more points. Backs. Here's Tommy Oakes. Bad snap here. He's only able to pick it up and pick up as many yards as he can off of that bad play. Good awareness there by Tommy. Not to panic, just pick up the bad snap and able to pick up as many yards as he can.
You know, you were talking about Cabot dropping into the 7A Central standings. Before tonight, you know, Bryant North Little Rock came in their games undefeated. You know, Cabot came in 4-1, and Conway came in at 3-2. With this win, most likely by Conway, you know, 42-7 right now, it would put Conway over Cabot, as they would both be 4-2. But with the win that Conway has over Cabot, it would put them over Cabot into the standings.
So here Oakes, he has a man wide open. It's Noah Sorrell. He's able to catch it. He's at the 50, the 40 now, going up the field, and he'll be brought down at around the 25-yard line. So there's Oakes. Great throw there, connecting in stride with Noah Sorrell. So he's going to pick up a big gain, get brought out of bounds at around the 25-yard line. But like you were just saying, looking at the standings now, if Cabot were to lose, they will not fall far in the 7A Central football standings, as you know, Bryant North Little Rock 5-0. Northside is at 2-3, and Conway is at 3-2. So if the Panthers were to lose, they would slot in at that number 4 spot, as they've already beat Northside. And so no matter what, if Northside wins, they're going to be 3-3, and the Panthers will be, if they were to win, they'd be 3-3. As we have Bradley Morales here breaking up the middle, breaking it to the outside, and he'll walk in for a touchdown. And just like that, takes them 3 plays, and the Panthers are able to go the length of the field and score a touchdown, cutting into this deficit now. It is now 42-13. So yeah, the Panthers going to lose. They'll still be in a good spot, be at the number 4 spot in the 7A Central football standings. So no need to panic if they were to lose this game.
It's great to see the Cabot offense finally getting back on track, but there's only a minute 40 left in this third quarter. Jay, and I'm kind of thinking it may be a little too late. I mean, it is possible for Cabot to come back, but it's looking very doubtful right now.
Yeah, very doubtful indeed, as that extra point is good. 42-14 is now the score, like you said, with 1:41 left in this third quarter. But yeah, the defense is going to have to get stops here, and the Panthers offense is going to have to score quickly, just like they did on that drive if they want to come back and win this game. But yeah, the remaining of Cabot's schedule is they're going to go on the road next week to Little Rock Central. And after that, they're going to have a home game against Bryant, and then they're going to go on the road one more time to Fort Smith Northside, and then after that, they'll be home for the last game against North Little Rock, who are 5-0. So yeah, that's the remaining of the Panthers' schedule. Got 2 more road games, and then you got 2 home games. That one road game that might be a difficult one for the Panthers is that long drive all the way to Fort Smith Northside.
Set to kick off for Panthers, Ben McCullough. Back deep for the Cats. Further Clark, Will Kennedy.
Long rides like that, where you got a bus crammed full of, you know, football players is just rough for any team. And so that game's going to be a tough one, as Northside is 2-3. So that's going to be a tough one. So, you know, key in on that game, because that's going to be a tough one for the Panthers.
Also, 2 games that could really affect Cabot are both their home games. Bryant North Little Rock, both undefeated right now. Both teams are really known for being good.
And so we're going to have an onside kick here, and the Panthers had a chance to recover it, but they weren't able to. And so Wampus Cats will start at midfield once again. Last time, it took them under 6 plays to score. They had a big pass from Herrera to Thomas, and then a touchdown run from Giovanni Johnson. So starting at the midfield, we'll see if the Wampus Cats can go down the field at ease like their last drive and score a touchdown.
Yeah, that would have been huge for the special teams of Cabot to come up with that football. You know, may have put some more points on the board for their offense. But, you know, it went out of bounds. You know, it shows a little bit of how Cabot's night all around is going.
So we have Clark in the backfield, low snap, able to corral it, though, hand it off to Clark. No get a gain of about 2 here. It's getting a bit chippy there. You see teams shoving each other. That's destined to happen as this game continues. Now with it 2nd and 9 at the 48-yard line. Clark still in the backfield. Michael George on the sideline getting a well-deserved breather as he's been awesome tonight. Like I said, over 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's going to be another short run there for Clark. Getting back to the original line of scrimmage. No gain there.
Now, if only the Cabot defense had an answer for George tonight. I mean, with him on the sidelines sometimes, the Wampus Cats offense has struggled to run the ball a little bit. You know, they tried to throw the pass. It was then intercepted. So, you know, the Cabot defense has shown a couple good things when Michaels has been on the sideline.
So here's Herrera dropping back again. Has a man, middle of the field, open. He's going to catch this at the 30-yard line. And so just like that, the Wampus Cats back in Panther territory again. That was a connection from Herrera, number 82, or 81, excuse me, Shane Smith Jr.
Herrera has definitely been spot on with every pass he's thrown other than that interception he threw.
And just like that, that's the end of the third quarter. Wampus Cats got a commanding lead, 42-14, and we'll be back shortly for the start of the fourth quarter.
We'd like to thank Wampus Health for being tonight's game sponsor. Wampus Health is a proud supporter of Conway Athletics.
Here we are, start of the fourth quarter. Going to be Clark on a handoff here. No gain there. The Panthers defense. Defensive line has looked strong in this, this possession here, as Clark's not been able to get anything going on this possession. Only if they were able to do this all night, and like you said, when Michael George is the running back, because they've been able to answer Clark, but they've not been able to find an answer for Michael George, as he has just been a beast tonight. Over 160 yards, 3 touchdowns for the night. Michael George pretty much has done nothing wrong tonight, and he's been just the vocal point of this offense, and he's shown why. As he's been great all night. Here he is with the handoff. Excuse me, that's another running back. That's number 33, Giovanni King, with an impressive run. His first run of the night. He's going to come close to that first down.
He was tripped up by Lucas Dalton's Conley.
Wampus Cats, like I said, in Panther territory, where they've been pretty much all night. They've just been impressive. Because when they get into the Panther territory, they don't ever stall out. They don't ever settle for field goals. They score touchdowns, and they've scored 5 offensive touchdowns. 1 touchdown came from a intercepting pick here, as Giovanni King will pick up the first down, as he's showed good back-to-back runs there for King. As he's looked like he's relieved Michael George, as it looks like he'll be off for the rest of the night. They don't want to risk any injury to him, so Michael George will likely finish the night 160-plus yards on the ground, 7+ yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. So he's the performer of the night with those numbers. Might be the 7A performer of the week. So look for that in your local newspapers.
Yeah, he came in this week with over 800 yards. He almost adds another 2,000, not a 2,200. Almost over 1,000-yard season already for Michael George.
Here's Clark now. Like I've said, Panthers have been able to find an answer for him, as he's not been able to get anything going tonight. But for Michael George, it's been a whole different answer. And so usually we've been talking about the Panthers running back rotation with T.J. Rogers, Graham Turner, Bradley Morales, Noah Sorrell, and Mason Martin here and there. We've been talking about how they stepped up and they played, they've been playing well. But it looks like the Wampus Cats, that's the running back rotation we've been talking about all night. Javani King now has come on. Michael George, Brendan Clark. They've got 3 good running backs of their own that they're displaying tonight. All 3 have done well. So we're going to have Giovanni King here looking to bounce his way into the end zone, but he'll bounce his way onto the outside for a first down at least. And the Wampus Cats will have a first down at around the 5-yard line. So 3 pretty impressive runs here for Giovanni King, excuse me.
Yep, he has had 3 rushes tonight, and every rush has counted. Every rush has been positive, big yards for this Wampus Cats offense. And, they found another person other than George that Cabot cannot find a stop to.
Yeah, I said Giovanni George there because I've been saying Michael George all night. He's just been a beast, and he's just been the vocal point of this whole game. He's just stood out this whole game. Whether the Wampus Cats are on defense, I still find myself saying the name Michael George because he's just such a beast. But that was Giovanni King there picking up the first down. Here he is with another handoff, looking to bounce his way into the end zone, rumbling his way there, but he'll be knocked down at around the 2-yard line, 1-yard line. 1.5-yard line is where they'll mark it. So we got 8 minutes remaining in this game. It's looking like the Panthers will go on to lose this game. The Wampus Cats from the opening horn have dominated this game and have controlled the momentum at all times. You've got Giovanni King still in the backfield. Clark and George on the sideline. Here's Giovanni King looking to punch his ticket into the end zone for a touchdown. It's looking like the Panthers defense there being stout, not allowing that to happen. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Wampus Cats now.
Like you said, the Cabot Panthers, it looks like they will be losing this game, but they cannot keep this over their heads. They have to just go over it and do good for the rest of the year. As you can see, after this, they play Central, who's 1-4 overall, 0-2 in conference. They do have a tough other couple games, North Little Rock, Bryant, not South Side, North Side. So, it's just...
Yep, it's going to be a tough schedule for the Panthers to closing out their season. But right now, they're facing a tough team here that's gritting and grinding. And they picked up another touchdown here as it's Giovanni George getting his well-deserved touchdown on this drive, adding to a commanding lead that the Wampus Cats already have, as it is 48-14 now, awaiting the extra point.
And they take the extra point, Jordan Riggs.
Jaden, we came into this game saying that records did not matter, and this was one of those games, as you said. Conway's sixth in the state. They did have a couple losses, but you got to think about the teams they've lost to. Last week they just came off a tough loss of North Little Rock, who's undefeated, and 5-0. And it was very impressive by Conway tonight.
Wampus Cats have been impressive, showing off why they're the 6th-ranked team in the state. You might not think that coming into the game with a 3-2 record, but they've definitely shown tonight that they're the 6th-ranked team. And you would think with the Wampus Cats being 3-2 and the Panthers being 4-1 that this game would be close, but unfortunately it is not, as the Panthers have not shown up to this matchup really. The Wampus Cats have controlled it since the opening horn, and they now have a commanding 49-14 lead as we have the Panthers back to return. So we await this kickoff from Jordan Wicks. Here's the kick. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to be fielded by Tommy Oaks. He's going to muff it. And it looks like the Panthers will recover it, as it looks like Aiden Shirley's able to hop on it. Tommy Oaks was looking to take that one to the house as well. Took his eye off the ball. Muffs it. Luckily, though, Aiden Shirley dives on the ball, so now they'll start it at the 26-yard line.
You're on 26-yard line.
Here's Oaks. Handoff up the middle. 5-yard gain there for the Panthers. Bradley Morales with that run there.
Making a Scott Jackson Freeman. Brings it second down and 5 at the 31-yard line.
So here's Oaks, 3 running backs behind him. It's going to be a handoff over the middle. It's going to be a fumble. TJ Rogers will recover it, though. That is another close call there for the Panthers, as they've had 2 to 3 of those tonight where it's been, a bad handled snap or a bad handled pitch or handoff, and they've luckily though been able to, able to fall on most of those tonight. You did see earlier in the game when that one pitch from Tommy Oaks was intercepted and returned for a touchdown, but besides that, they've been able to fall on most of those bad handled handoff snaps, etc. You just can't have that. If you're trying to, get back into a game, you cannot have mess-ups like that. It's the 6th game of the season. 6th game of the season, your team should be, ready to go, used to this already. They shouldn't have miscommunications like that in the 6th game of the season. But the Panthers have had that tonight, and that's been the main reason that they've been digging themselves in a hole. They've been shooting themselves in the foot tonight. And if you're going to shoot yourself in the foot against a team like this, the Wampus Cats will take full advantage of it, and they've done it tonight. They showed no mercy for the Panthers. Michael George, no mercy with his 3 touchdowns. Giovanni Johnson, no mercy with his 2 touchdowns. They've shown no mercy here. They've kept their foot on the throat of the Panthers, and they're about to just step on it one last time and end it. We're going to have Oaks here. He has a man open. John Weens with an impressive catch. And just like that, the Panthers are in Wampus Cat territory off that big throw there from Oaks, connecting with John Weens. As Oaks has had 2 impressive throws now in the second half. One to Noah Sorrell picking up a big gain, and then now this one to John Weens, as we have an injured Wampus Cat player on the field. So we'll be back shortly after he is off the field and we resume play.
Officials timeout. Injured player for Conway, Will Kennedy.
Injured player there is number 9, Will Kennedy. He'll walk off under his own power. Hopefully he'll be all right. So he is a key player for this defense. So he is a senior. He plays a little bit of receiver. Mainly, though, he'll be slotted in at the free safety position. That's where he was trying to cover John Weens on that play. John Weens is too big of a target there. He's able to catch it and then knock him down. So we have Oaks here pitching it to TJ Rogers, looking to get something to the outside. He does. He'll pick up a big gain here. Looking like an 8 to 9 yard gain there for TJ Rogers.
Let's go back to the not the turnovers, but the loose balls by the Cabot offense. The fumbles recovered again. TJ's muff called back. You got to think with those, if Conway recovers, could easily be another 7 to 14 points on the scoreboard for the Wampus Cats.
You're exactly right. And so the Panthers going into next week's matchup against Little Rock Central, going to sure things up there. So here's Bradley Morales trying to inch his way for a first down. He's going to be short depending on the spot here. Panthers looking to maybe go down one last time and score a touchdown to make this score look a bit more respectable, as right now it's a whopping 49-14. And yes, I said it, whopping.
That's what we call Gage Peter. Third down.
Could go for a whopper right now. There's Tommy Oakes on a keeper. That's another late pitch there, and that's another loose ball. But with the help of that loose ball, the Panthers actually will pick up a first down. And so what looked like could be dangerous results in a first down for the Panthers, as they'll take it any way they can get late in this game, down 49-14.
Brings up 1st and 10 Panthers. Levis got 34 yards.
Here's Oakes, another pitch to TJ Rogers, and he'll be brought down by number 20, Tez Miller. Brutal tackle there from Tez Miller, as TJ Rogers was not expecting that. Tez Miller met him at the point of attack, brought him down at his knees. As you know, TJ Rogers, this was a revenge game kind of for TJ Rogers, as you know, last week at Cabot against Conway. Conway, you know, tackled TJ off of a kick return. TJ went down, broke his collarbone, which kept him out 8 months. And so this was kind of a revenge game from him. Tommy Oakes trying to go deep down the field to Aiden Shirley. It'll be incomplete pass, but I was expecting, you know, TJ Rogers to, you know, come into tonight's game with revenge on his mind, and, you know, just come out with a vengeance, looking to, you know, jumpstart this Panthers offense and set the tone. But Wampus Cats defense is well aware of TJ Rogers, as he's one of the best backs in the 7A. And so they were well aware of TJ Rogers, and they game planned for him. As you've seen it all night, TJ Rogers, besides 2-3 runs that he's had tonight, they've stopped him all night.
Yeah, I know that TJ will not be happy with his performance tonight. He knows he can do better this week. I mean, he's going to put full into it, and, you know, I guarantee he won't be like this playing against Little Rock Central.
So here's Oakes trying to make something happen on his own. Going to be tackled at the knees there, close to a first down. It's going to have a gain of about 6 to 7 right there.
Tommy Oakes on the quarterback keeper.
So we're now under a minute here.
He was brought down by Ricky Fuller. Gage Peter.
Do a few more plays here from the Panthers offense. Should send this game over. As we await the final horn here, Tommy Oakes going to be a handoff to Bradley Morales. He'll pick up the first down. But it's a bit too late, as the Panthers needed a lot more first downs and a lot more touchdowns tonight. They haven't got it tonight. So down 49-14.
Making a stop for the Wampus Cats, Dallas McAllister.
Here's Oakes, dropping back, looking for receivers down the field. Has one. That's Noah Sorrell. That's just going to be overthrown just a bit, as it will go out of bounds. Noah Sorrell, the intended receiver. TJ Rogers and John Means picks Tommy Oakes up from the ground. And just like that, that incomplete pass will end tonight's game. Wampus Cats now 8-7 over the Panthers, dating back to 2004. They came in, impressive win. They dominated all around. Panthers not able to get anything going. The Panthers will go into next week's matchup against Little Rock Central 4-2 after the Wampus Cats defeat the Panthers 49-14. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jaden Dixon.
And I'm Nick Ryan.